On February 20th, 1992, the 17th episode of the third season of The Simpsons aired. It was called Homer at the Bat, and it's widely credited as one of the best Simpsons episodes, and maybe the best sports cameo in a TV show ever. Basically, Mr. Burns hires 9 MLB players to sandbag a Springfield Power Plant Company softball game. Those players were Roger Clemens, Mike Scioscia, Don Mattingly, Steve Sax, Wade Boggs, Ozzie Smith, Jose Canseco, Ken Griffey Jr., and Darryl Strawberry. While most of them never ended up playing in the episode, I was curious to see if these 9 players could win a World Series today. Thankfully, Out of the Park Baseball has a historical import player feature, so I brought in our 9 players based on their 1992 stats, since that's the year the episode aired. Then, I added them onto the 2021 Pittsburgh Pirates to see if that could turn them into a World Series contender. It displaced a lot of their existing position players to the minors, but since the only pitcher added to the team is Roger Clemens, the team had pretty much the same pitching staff as the real-life Pirates. Our lineup is good, but surprisingly not great. A lot of players in the episode, like Steve Sax, Wade Boggs, Darryl Strawberry, and Mike Scioscia, are either well past their prime or had down years in 1992, so their imported stats aren't very good. Pretty much the only bona fide star on the team is Ken Griffey Jr., while Don Mattingly and Jose Canseco are solid but not great at the plate, and Ozzie Smith will win a Gold Glove but not do much else with a stick. The in-game projection systems give our team 91 wins though, which should be good enough for a playoff spot. I'm also going to turn off injuries so we get to see this full starting lineup through the entire year. Here's the lineup I started the season with some of the leftover Pirates making up the rest of our bench, and here's our pitching staff with Roger Clemens headlining the rotation and a bunch of random dudes making up the rest. The team, I'll be honest, does not look that exciting, and I think 91 wins might be an overshoot. We start the season slightly below 500, and then everyone accidentally gets put into the free agent pool, so I have to manually put them back. Darryl Strawberry snuck in 1 game on the Giants. After I fix everything, we continue to be mediocre, staying under 500 through the end of June. Roger Clemens, surprisingly, is pitching worse than Chris Stratton, who leads our team in pitching WAR, and as expected, Ken Griffey Jr. is by far our best position player. We're still in the mix through the All-Star break, hanging around 500, but after that, everything starts to fall apart. We are probably the worst team in the league in July and August, being mathematically eliminated by the start of September. We finished the season a dismal 66-96, not much better than the actual Pirates are expected to be. So what went wrong? Well, our offense was around league average by runs scored, but the pitching just sucked. Roger Clemens was okay, and Chris Stratton was our best pitcher, but the rest of our staff, including most of the bullpen, was well below average. We finished in the bottom 3 of the NL in every pitching metric, so it's no wonder we were so bad. I wasn't satisfied with this result though, since it seemed like our team was bad more because the Pirates' pitching was bad, so I set up a second sim. This time, instead of building off an existing team, I'm making a 31st team and putting them in the NL Central. Then I'll totally max out Roger Clemens' stamina, and at the end of every day I'll manually reset everyone's energy, so theoretically we only need 9 players, since we'll have the same 8 position players and Roger Clemens pitching every inning. Unfortunately, Out of the Park doesn't have a function to reset a single player's fatigue, only everybody in the entire league, so the same strategy we're employing, every other team can technically use as well. Since I didn't feel like manually simming then resetting everyone's fatigue for 162 straight games, I put our Springfield Isotopes into the shortened 2020 season. We start the season absolutely on fire with 10 straight wins, ending the first of 2 months 22-8. Clemens has pitched every single inning except for 1 game pitched by Denard Span, who somehow snuck his way onto the roster for a game. Having only 1 pitcher on the roster capable of throwing 150 plus pitches a game means when Clemens is on, he is on, and we see a lot of near shutouts. Unfortunately, it also means when things are going poorly, there's no one to relieve him, so he's totally hung out to dry, having to stay on the mound till the end of the game, leading to a lot of lopsided losses. Our lineup is again decent, but not great. Guys like Wade Boggs, Don Mattingly, and Ozzie Smith are hitting for good averages, but don't hit for power or draw many walks, while Darryl Strawberry and Jose Canseco are hitting homers but not doing much else. Ken Griffey Jr. is still insane though, and he ends the year winning the batting title. And our team defense is the absolute worst in the league, with Ozzie Smith being our only above average defender. All this added up to a mediocre September, ending the regular season with 5 straight losses. Our Isotopes finished the season 36-24, certainly respectable but not great. It was good enough though to be the 5th seed in the shortened season playoff format, scheduling a matchup with the Rockies, who were carried by German Marquez starting all 60 games of the season. What followed was a 2-0 sweep for Colorado, an unceremonious end to our experiment. In hindsight, having to pitch more than 500 innings over the course of 2 months took its toll on Roger Clemens. He finished the year leading the league in every counting stat, positive and negative, with a 108 ERA plus and nearly 9 WAR. So what are the takeaways from this experiment? The 1992 Springfield Power Plant softball team, if they had all avoided disaster and been able to play a full season in the current year, would probably be good but not great. Too many of the players had down years in 1992 to be a true super team, and as it turns out, only having one pitcher on your roster is suboptimal, go figure. And finally, the original Simpsons episode is still funny today, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should go do that immediately. Thanks for sticking around. I want to make more out of the park-oriented stuff once the new version comes out next week, so if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.